Hi, everybody. It's Andy Phillips here, and we've got Josh Lister on the line. Only just.
Hey guys, sorry,
You literally came in like 2 seconds ago. Had me worried. Had me worried. Um, so, welcome, Josh.
thanks.
Yeah. So
Glad I'm here.
basically, we've got a bit of a live event going on at the moment, and what we're going to do is we're going to look at the concept of going online from where you are right now. But this is why we've called it physical or digital, because we've had a lot of calls. We were just discussing this a few days ago. Over the last, I was going to say a couple of weeks, but it's actually been around about 7 or 8 days, and it's sort of since the lockdown has sort of kicked in a little bit. We've had quite a few calls, and they've all been about how we can get online, how we can do things, how I can get a website up and running, how can I can get a funnel sorted out, how can I get sort of lead gen sorted out, and it's people that have that we've known for a long time that have suddenly sort of popped up again and sort of said, look, there's a real problem here. I have a real problem. And my business is closing down, or I can't get to work, or it's all those sort of things that have happened just in the last week or so. And it's one of the reasons why we decided to do this. We started to push it into the Funnel Hub as well. So if you're on Funnel Hub or the Digital Cascade page, which we're going out live to at the moment, then welcome. Hope you can hear us. Let us know if you can. You can put comments in and all that sort of thing. So, but that's what it's been like at the moment, Josh, isn't it? People have been really sort of thinking hard about what they can actually do to get themselves online.
That's it. I mean, they've traditionally been relying on sort of foot traffic to get into their business, and it's now that it's not possible, or currently, like, you've got to think of ways that you can get people in digitally. Whether that be sort of creating digital products, or recording your services online, or doing classes, things like that. There's multiple ways you can do it, to skin a cat, essentially. And what we're trying to basically show you is the process to do that through a series of live videos and easy kind of how-tos, essentially. But yeah, so that's pretty much it in a nutshell, to be fair.
Yeah, because we've put a little presentation together just to sort of reiterate the point slightly, I guess. But things are really strange at the moment. We've heard the word unprecedented banded around all the time, and it's sort of it's becoming one of those words that every time you see it, you get a little bit annoyed, because yes, we know it's unprecedented, but this is something which has never happened to us as business owners, or even if you're an employee that is on furlough, for instance, and you're sitting around. I was speaking to a friend of mine this morning who said, I just really don't know what to do with myself. It's become, and he's only been there for like 4 days or 5 days. He's been on furlough, so it is a bit strange. It is really weird times. But Joseph Campbell, who is a professor of English literature and a prolific author, Joseph Campbell said, opportunities to find deeper powers within ourselves come when life seems most challenging. And I don't think we can get much more of challenging times as we've got at the moment, especially for business owners. Again, we've been speaking to a lot of business owners just recently that have got different situations. They have different ways of doing their business. But each one of them have come across a real challenge. And a lot of people are thinking about, how can I keep my business going, for one, or how can I change what I'm doing to become something a little bit different? So, change the way we do things. So this is a time that we need to use wisely, because this isn't going to be over in any time soon. It's not going to be over in a few weeks. There's going to be at least a few months of this, and it could be even more. We don't know. It's really uncertain times for a lot of businesses. So what we're asking is, can you take your business online? And we want to look at it in a few different ways. So one of the things that has shocked me is that people, well, not shocked me, but sort of made me think about the way people think about their business, because maybe we need a sort of shift in mindset. I mean, do you see that, Josh?
Oh, 100%. It's you've got to think about different ways of getting clientele, right? And that can be anything from you know, well, it's like list building exercises, and how do you build a list, and you know, you got to think about the industry you're in and what it is the needs of your customers are, essentially. And so there's several ways you can do it, you know, from like ebooks and groups and what have you. I mean, we work with my own marketing agency. We work with a lot of hospitality and fitness clients, you know, and when this was kind of all coming into place, the restaurants were like coming to me like, what are we going to do? We're going to shut down, right? And well, no, you got to think about how you can provide your product to your customers that doesn't require them to be in, you know. And it's like, well, how do I do that? It's like, well, you got to set up things like Uber Eats and Deliveroo and start delivering takeaway, right? And like, okay, great, yeah, I can do that. And so a bunch of them are still going that way, you know. Like we had a couple that were like, they had a food truck, right? And obviously you can't operate from the food truck anymore. And it's like, well, do you have people in like that own a massive restaurant that you can lease their space from and then deliver out of that? And I'm like, oh yeah, great. I know a bunch of people I can do that with, you know. So that's just one example. Like another might be with the fitness space, you know, a lot of the gyms. I was like, well, let's create a group that you can, you know, live stream a lot of this stuff to, and you can still provide your product to them via live stream. You know, yoga studios and coaches have the same sort of thing. But yeah, it's just that, as I said, a shift in mindset about how you deliver your product is what's kind of needed in here.
Yeah, because this is, again, we've been talking to a lot of people like consultants, for instance, who actively go out to their clients. They work within their business. They help them do those sort of things, or coaches or trainers and that sort of thing. And again, it's just a case of, how can I change the way I do my business? Is it possible to maybe do it remotely rather than physically? And this is the whole point of what we're trying to do here, is to help people to sort of maybe get that mind shift to see if you can do it. And so it sort of stimulated a few questions for us, and we thought we'd put it down on the presentation here, just to sort of get our minds thinking about this, because the first one was, can you take your current business online? So the business you're actually doing right now, and this does suit things like you know, consultants and trainers, and even yoga teachers, or you know, people who are doing cooking classes and that sort of thing.
That's it.
Anything that's like that.
No, so, definitely.
Yeah. So what we put down here is sort of one-to-one and one-to-many as a sort of a bit of a reminder of the way we can do this. And this is, again, using the technology that's out there. It's not just building, you know, a landing page, or being able to getting leads through forms or whatever it is. It's not just about those sort of things. So yes, we need to structure our business in a specific way, and there's ways of actually structuring. We'll go into a little bit about that as well. But it's also just looking around and seeing, what's the technology that I can use right now for my business. And one of the things that, you know, we use, I mean, this is a live stream. We also use things like Zoom and go to webinar to go out to do a one-to-many.
Facebook Lives. Yeah.
It's huge amounts of things out there that we can put together, and we can think about. Look, there's loads of technology, and some of the time spent right now, if you're sitting at home thinking about, you know, how can I make my business better? How can I change my business? Because it isn't just about, can I take my current business and put it online, but it's also things like, can you utilize your current skills and build a new online business, something which you may have postulated about before, may have thought about, you know, in the back of your mind, maybe I could do that one day. Well, maybe now's the time to really genuinely think about that. So, I mean, if you think about, if you're a photographer and you can't do weddings anymore, you can't go out and do, you know, corporate shots or any of those sort of things, the stuff you maybe do for calendars or whatever you do as a photographer. And this is just one thing. Can you teach photography? Can you start teaching photography online? Is that a possibility? Is it something which you've maybe thought about before but never really done? So, you know, there's a whole gambit of things you can do there.
No, definitely. Yeah, like an easy way to like kind of get involved with that, I suppose, is you know, look at your passions and see what it is you enjoy doing, right? And so if you don't want to be teaching something that you hate doing, because it'll just be a grind, and so it's initially kind of look at your passions, and then look at your skill set. Like, I mean, you can be passionate about cooking, but if you're absolutely rubbish at it, then you might not be the best sort of person to teach cooking. You know what I mean? So it's going to be something you can kind of, you don't necessarily have to be a pro at. You just got to be, one day better than the person you're teaching, right? And so it can just literally just be a documentation of your journey, and that can, people resonate with those types of things. But on top of that, you then also kind of need to make sure that there's a market demand, right? You don't want to go and create an online business on how to make left hand fidget spinners, because it's like, is there a market demand for that? I don't know. But there's plenty of easy ways to kind of find out if there's a market demand for that. You've got to find out if people are already selling it. And a quick way to do that is to go onto, Amazon.com or .com or .co.uk or whatever country you're in, and then type in how to learn to cook. Whatever your passion or your skill that you want to teach is, how to play football, how to do photography. And if there's how-to books that are selling and they've got reviews and stuff like that, that there's a market demand. In other ways, you can look at things like Google Trends and to see if there's any sort of search volume for those kind of terms. And if there is, then you've got market demand. But if you can hit all three of these things, so like you've got a passion for it, which means that as you can do it day in, day out and absolutely love it, and you've got a bit of a skill for it, and there's demand. That's an awesome indicator for that you can actually make some decent money out of it.
Yeah, this is the sort of the key to this, because passion and skills is great. And I talk to a lot of people who maybe want to start their own business, and I'm talking about right now. If you're an employee and you're working in a garage, for instance, but that's not really your passion, but your passion is something completely different, like photography, for instance. So if you've got a passion for photography and you've got the skills in photography, you've got some really good cameras, you really know exactly how to light things properly, and all those sort of things. As long as you look at the demands, the market demands, because one of the biggest mistakes that we see a lot of people make is that they have a passion and skill for something, they'll go and put it up, they'll go and start building a business on it that nobody wants to know about. And this is exactly what Josh has just said. Go onto Amazon, go and have a look at, see if there's actual books on this, see if there's courses online about it. Because if there isn't,
Facebook groups, right?
Yeah. Don't sort of think if there isn't a group, or don't think there isn't a book, or don't think there isn't a course, that you're hitting some sort of untapped niche, because there isn't a course in there, or there isn't a book, because nobody really is interested. So you always got to look at something which is, people are already selling, they're already making money on, and a good one again is Udemy. Have a look on Udemy and see if there's courses, and if there's courses with 10 people on it, then it's probably not the best one to do. If there's courses with 1,200 people on it, then that sort of information sells. So if all you've got to do is be better than the other people, that's start thinking about how you can be value add on something, or how you can be slightly different, have a go from a different angle on something, maybe a bit more niched down into a specific type of photography, whatever it is. So passion, skills, and market demand are really what you need on that. The third one that we looked at was, can you value add above your competition? Now, the reason why we're talking about not just making money online, not just making money on creating a business, but if you've got a current business, can you add value that you would have never have done before? So I just picked this one. We was having a little chat about this the other day, and I just sort of picked this one because I thought it might be an idea. It might be an idea to sort of just pick something and sort of try and explore it a little bit. So what a lot of people have is they have if you're a bookkeeper, for instance, and just extrapolate this out to your own business, or your own passion and skill that you want to try and make into a business. But we've picked the bookkeeping one. So bookkeepers will have a passion for something. And what they'll do is they'll have a service that they're putting in place, and people will phone them up. They'll be recommended and all that sort of thing. A lot of those bookkeepers will be working for companies that may not be really around. I mean, they may have lost some business, but their service is a really valuable service. Bookkeeping services are really valuable services for small business and large businesses. So they will do, get a service, have a payment for it. They'll probably send out an invoice and then be paid at the end of the month, and all the normal things that bookkeepers do. They're pretty traditional types of businesses. But in this moment in time, you have a fantastic opportunity to change the mindset and think of it in a slightly different way, or even in a radically different way. And if you think about, so forget the services for a second, think about the value add that you can put in that goes above your competition. So you can start beating everybody out there. You might have 2-3 months to really hammer this. And so if you think about things like one-to-one virtual advice, do people do that? Not many people who are bookkeepers do that. So
that's it, like little 15-minute, like you can do like little 15-minute consultations and stuff like that online via Zoom, via Facebook Live. That's it. You build a relationship.
Sort of that you could either get paid to do one-to-one virtual consultancy.
Oh, definitely.
Or
definitely.
as a mindset shift is maybe you could offer this as a slightly, maybe a free service, just to get people on board, new people on board. One-to-one virtual advice for new customers coming into my practice. You can do maybe a half an hour advice service for free, and then you can charge them on top of that.
No, that's it. Like with the one-to-many sort of live broadcast, I work with a couple of accountants, and I've got them to sort of set up a Facebook group, and they're an accountant in different cities, right? And so they set up a Facebook group, and they go live, twice a week, where they'll answer any sort of questions like related at the moment, mostly coronavirus related, and how businesses are going to kind of get out of that, right? And so they're becoming, their not like and trust factors is going through the roof because they're helping these people for free. And so when it does all come back online, like who are they going to come back to? Their accountant that sat with their head in the sand for the past 3 months and just kind of waited for everything to blow over, or that accountant that has been helping them day in, day out, like with answering questions and things like that. It's like you can basically be that accountant for your services. It doesn't have to, you don't have to push it for the sale in 3 months. You can actually still start making sales. Currently, like a lot of the fitness clients that I sort of work with, a lot of gyms have closed up, but like the ones that I'm working with at the moment, they're doing the live streams and of their classes, but they're still keeping their monthly direct debits going because they're providing one-to-one, virtual advice essentially, and things like fitness routine schedules and like food planners and just all these little extra add-ons that don't take much effort. Like you can whack something up together in 20 minutes because you already know the information, right? You're just putting it down on a piece of paper and giving it to them. But it's just a value add above and beyond what your competition are doing.
I mean, it's a bit like us. We've been doing lots of live stuff. For ages. We're always doing live things like this to either help our clients, to open up them to maybe some new ideas, some new ways of doing things, and mindset changes, and all that sort of thing, in the way we actually market our businesses. But we've been doing this for a long time, and if you want to come and join us on Funnel Hub on our Facebook group. We're going to be doing a lot more of these sort of things. I'll tell you a little bit more about that at the end of this. But right at this time, we're pushing more and more because we can't go out to go and see clients and go and do proposals and all the things that we do normally, or do meetings where we're speaking from front of room and all that sort of stuff. We can't do those sort of things. So what we're doing is we're pushing our live value add much higher than we've ever done before. We're going to do a lot more of these sort of things for you guys as well. So, but we can also do things like JV broadcasts. I mean, JV broadcasts, if we go for the analogy of the bookkeeper, just put in your own business. But for the analogy of the bookkeeper, you might have a really good understanding or a JV with an accountant, for instance, and you can do joint broadcasts. And taking questions, as Josh just said, and also downloads and video how-tos. So start pushing those sort of things out, because this, again, it's not just about making money right now. This is about building business for the future when we actually come out of all this and we go back to hopefully what will be a normal way of life again at some point. It seems like it's going to be a distant thing at the moment. It just feels like very, very, very weird. But when we actually do go back to our normal ways of life, then those people, as you said, they're going to be coming to you rather than anybody else. Your business can grow exponentially if you use this time wisely and start using the internet and social media in a much more positive, value-added way. So that's what we wanted to go through with this. But there's so many different things. The most important thing is that when you do this value-added service, this value-added online services, what it will do is actually push people back to buying things from you. And this is when you need to have a look at the actual structure of the way your website is or your web presence is. Because if you're not prepared to take on that brand new business, if you're not prepared to get people to pay for that brand new business or any business that you're actually bringing in as a value add that you're actually charging for, then you're going to be leaving a lot of money on the table and a lot of people disappointed because you've done the first thing, which is value add. And now people value add, what people want to do is they want to start buying those services. So you need to have your web presence, whether it's a website, your landing pages, your funnel pages, whatever they are that brings people into your business. You need to get them up and running and making them work really, really well, really solidly well. And that means taking in things like one-time payments or recurring payments. Most bookkeepers have clients that just pay them every single month. Well, you can take recurring payments online rather than sending out invoices and start putting in structures that make sense on a business basis. Easy online payment processes. Make it easy for people to actually purchase things rather than going through the whole old-fashioned process of, yes, I like your service, okay, I'll send you an invoice, then you set up, send a check in. I mean, people still do this, especially in the sort of more arcane sort of businesses like lawyers. They still have fax machines and things like that. Now's the time to really just pump it up to a brand new level. And also you can do special deals and one-time offers. This is something which I don't think a lot of businesses actually do that much of. Special deals, maybe they might give a discount on something, but one-time offers, this is a very, very much a marketing type of thing where if someone gets so if you do a download, we're talking about the value add. If you do something like a download, then on the very next page, you can say, look, I've got a one-time offer. Here's a code to get X amount off your first month with us. Come and join us. First month, you get it 50% discount, something like that. One-time offers. People don't normally see these sort of things. Normal basic businesses don't really use those sort of structures, but it's time to think about that sort of thing.
That's it. I mean, you can also do things like upsells and affiliate commissions, so like the example of the bookkeeper here, like, there's various bookkeeping software like Xero and QuickBooks, and you can get affiliate commissions for, recommending software like that or products related to your service. You could be, again, on the fitness niche, like they could have a affiliate page on their website that sells equipment. You can quite easily set up things like Amazon affiliate links, so you can like have our recommended equipment to use with the services. You know what I mean? So there's many different ways you can get those reoccurring income streams coming in on a monthly basis. That once set up, it takes minimal amount of management, but it's about sort of setting those systems in place so that you've just got different avenues of traffic and income, and so that you're future proofing or pandemic proofing your business.
And one of the great ways of actually doing that is if you do downloads as a value add, to produce resource guides. It's a great way to actually get affiliate commission for products and services, because a resource guide is, here's the things you probably need, and if any of those you can get an affiliate on. So for instance, the software. So if you're talking to a customer and say, look, there's some great tools that you can use. Here's a resource guide. Download it now. It's completely free of charge. People will download it. You can put your affiliate links into your resource guides. We'll show you how to do some of that stuff in later videos, because it's a really good way of actually getting some good passive income that you don't have to do anything for. Affiliate software or affiliate marketing is a great way of doing it. And again, you know, you were talking about Amazon. It's really easy to set up an Amazon link and just do a resource guide of some of the books that people can get. It's you know, it just it does build up the cash at the back end, which is really good. So here's the 3 questions that we ask, and these are the ones that we really want you to ask yourself. Now, can you take your current business online? Have a think about the way that works. Can you utilize your current skills to build an online business? So even if it's not something which you actually do right now, is there something which you can do which will make you immune to these sort of things, the things that are happening now where you can't actually do something? Because it's not just this pandemic that could stop you working. It could be anything. You might get the sack, for instance. You might just not have a business. You know, your business might fold or something like that. Is there a second way of actually getting some income? So you've got something to fall back on. Now's the time to think about it. This is why I'm saying now is the time to think about it, rather than as soon as you go back to work and then go, do you know, I don't have time to look at other ways of making income, other income streams that are going to make sense to me. The other one was, can you value add above your competition? So this basically means that you may not need to make money out of it, but if you can restructure the way you use your online services, the way you configure your online business, and actually the way you think about your online business, change that mindset slightly, you might be able to value add above your competition. So when you do go back to normality, you will have a lot more customers coming into your business, and then you'll need the way of actually working with those customers to actually bring them into your business and you need to do it in a slightly different way, which basically means you need to use technology to do that, to exponentially build your business. It's the way to actually scale your business by using the technology. Think about it now while you've got the time. So I want to have a look at just a few tools just to round this off, just to give you an idea of some of the things that you might be able to do. I'm just going to hand over to Josh so we can go through this, because we've got to talk about the visibility, engagement, the capture, nurture, and close. So just have a little run through this, Josh.
Yeah, so I mean, we can really get into the weeds with tools, right? And there's 1,000,001 different tools out there, and I'm sure you've probably tried several of them. But the main thing is that you need a tool. You need tools that can capture the engagement and visibility of people. So things like, you know, these live streams that we like to use StreamYard, and you can, you know, push that out to Facebook and YouTube and things like that. But you need a way of capturing leads and sending out SMS and email marketing and things like that. So having like a CRM in place is super handy. We like to use High Level because it just a myriad of different things all together in one. But you know, and then having like a landing page or a website, you know, you can spend thousands on these things. But having done this for a few years now, and Andy, I'm sure a few more. We've tried and tested a whole bunch of different other ones, you know what I mean? And so, what we like, as I said, we like to use High Level, but we can give you a couple of examples of what to use here. But mostly, you need a way to capture people, a way to nurture them, and then a way to sell, essentially, and close, as I said. So, if we move on to the next page, Andy. So you've got your connected solutions, right? Which is the old way of doing things. You know, that's having a WordPress website, or it might be built on Wix, or more recently, ClickFunnels is a really good example. But you then need to stitch together different software because they're just a website, right? You need a payment gateway like Stripe or PayPal. You need ways to email them, so you might use MailChimp or Active Campaigns, another really good one. You know, so but you need a way for those to speak to each other. So like things like Zapier. But more recently, it can get quite techy, right? And you need a bit of tech know-how to do that. And there's a lot of learning involved when you do a connected solution like that. But there's more kind of flexibility in those sort of things. Alternatively, if you're like just getting started, I would 100% recommend an all-in-one solution. There's 2 out there that are really good, and you could kind of say 3 with ClickFunnels, but High Level and then Kartra, they both are pretty similar. They're both kind of similar sort of pricing structures, but they do everything, and which is grand. And a lot of them you can kind of build out sort of marketing campaigns and automations that is like a build it once and you're done, essentially. And it's a lot more user friendly, and it's great for the beginner or small business owner. So picking the right one from the beginning is key for you not to get overwhelmed, right? Because you don't want to, you might have a great idea and you've got a great product, but then you start trying to like learn how to build a website and how to, set up payment gateways and like, this information overload, and you just go, nah, I had enough, I can't do it anymore. And so what we're trying to do is try and cut that out and make it as easy as possible so that you can go to market without having to spend hundreds of hours trying to learn all this stuff. And the reason I recommend we use high levels because we can actually build out a lot of those systems and share them with you. So in the Facebook group that we have, the Funnel Hub, I recommend you joining that because we'll be doing little lives on like how to build different marketing campaigns, how to do websites. We'll probably even do a done for you website so that you don't have to spend thousands on getting a website purchase. But these services are more affordable than you think. They're in and around the kind of 97 US a month mark. So it's like 75 pounds or something like that. But so you really only need to make like one sale a month really for a lot of services to more than pay for this services. Where if you're using the connected solutions, there's subscription costs for each one of the services that you use, and it can rack up some pretty heavy bills there. So yeah, that's kind of what I recommend with the choices. If you've already got stuff in place, you might have connected solutions, in which case, grand, you just carry on with what you're doing, and we can recommend what you need to do for that as well. But going forward, we'd recommend an all-in-one solution for sure.
Yeah, I think there's the whole point of this is there's choices, and when clients come to us and say, look, this is what I want to try and achieve, what we tend to do is we look at the best, easiest route for the client. And for some people, they don't mind having these connected solutions because it's sort of it's the way they've always done it. They feel comfortable in there, and that's fine. It's a good way of doing it. But if you're pretty new to it, and this is really going out to people, hopefully that are within business at the moment but want to start taking their business online. Maybe an all-in-one solution may be a better idea, because what it actually does as well is sort of spreads cost along. I mean, I was talking to someone this morning about, well, actually a couple of people this morning about websites, and they've connected with me because they know that we do these sort of things, but they just been quoted something like $2.5 grand for a website, and it's fine if you need a website and you want to spend the money on that, but there are ways of doing this where you can maybe spread the cost a bit more. With an all-in-one solution, you tend to spread the cost along with your business. So as your business grows, your costs tend to grow on technology anyway. Because you get more people come onto your list, or you're getting out to more people and things like that. So maybe on a basic level, if you're starting a business or you're starting a new business, spreading the cost by going with an all-in-one solution, which can actually put a website up, it can do landing pages, it can do the sort of things like email marketing, Facebook Messenger marketing, payment gateways, and all that sort of thing, all in one place. So you're not stitching it all together. We stitch stuff together because that's what we do. We're geeky techies, that's what we tend to do. And it's like sometimes it's a challenge, but every so often, I'm doing something with Josh, and we sort of think, how on earth could a customer do this? Because we find things difficult to stitch together sometimes. We have to use third-party solutions to put two products together. We need a third-party solution to put two products together, which makes it a little flaky sometimes. But you have to do those things to make things work. It is insane, isn't it?
No, 100%. And if you have like a problem with like one one software, then it fails the other one, and you don't know where it's breaking, and it's just an absolute bloody nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's fine. We get paid to look after these solutions for clients, so that's great. But for you, if you're just wanting to get some, really good solution up online, and you want to spread costs across time and things like that, then an all-in-one solution is probably what you want to do. If you've already got a ton of stuff, and it's all basically working okay, and that sort of thing, then the connected solution is going to be the one for you. You may want to change it at some point, but it's just choices. I'm just thinking, if you're brand new to this and you just want as easy life as possible, and to, as I say, sort of spread those costs across time, because let's face it, when we start a new business, we're not going to be getting in £1 million a month, so we've got to sort of think about the finances as well. And so maybe the all-in-one solution is probably more up your game. So anyway, let's have a look at these 3 questions again, and just these things we're going to be I'm going to be putting this into a PDF, and I'll put this onto the Funnel Hub so you can download it. But the idea is, if you go through some of this stuff, and if you can answer yes to these, or
any one of them,
yeah, exactly, any one of them,
you can bring your business online.
It's worth looking at. It's worth looking at taking your business online.
No, that's it.
So we've got to we've done over half an hour. I only wanted to do half an hour on this, but I think we've got through to the end of it. If you've got any queries on any of this stuff, then let us know. But come and join us on the Funnel Hub Facebook group. I put the link in here. As I say, if you just search for Funnel Hub on Facebook, you'll find it. You'll see my wonderful
first
picture
option
on there.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna put this as a PDF and put it into Funnel Hub, so you can just download it straight from there. But come and join us and ask us any questions. What we do is we're going to be it's a marketing focused community, but we're going to do regular free training on lots of different aspects of digital marketing, especially now, because even though we're pretty busy, we want to put a lot more stuff up online, which is all about digital marketing and how it can help you to sort of just make that step and that mindset trip as well, because it's important. We're also going to be putting some resource guides and downloads. I'm going to put this on there. We've got a few other ones that we're going to be putting on there that we're working on right now. So, but also put your challenges on there. We do regular live broadcasts, and we need your feedback. The stuff that's challenging you right now. If you've got queries, questions, how to do things and that sort of stuff, let us know, because we'll start doing little videos to help you to market your business in a much better way, especially the way it is now. So think of those 3 questions. And have you got anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
No, I just want to thank everyone for their time and really appreciate it. Time is your most valuable resource, and we appreciate you spending it with us. And we really look forward to seeing you in the group. And as Andy said, if you've got any questions whatsoever, just message them on there, and we're happy to answer them, or even create content around it if there's enough interest. But yeah.
Brilliant. Josh, thanks very much. And
thanks, Andy.
We'll see you guys later. And so thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. See you later.
Thanks, guys.